Joe. And yo, the Sports Bag Bros podcast is back on. It's Monday, and you know what that means. That means a whole lot of sports are behind us, and we're going to bring it to the forefront in just a moment. The NFL going through its measures. You saw college football. Now teams are separating themselves. The sexy games are sexy and sexier, especially when the right team wins. And of course, baseball is here. We got to talk about a little baseball, but nevertheless, tonight, you have Monday Night Football here in Jacksonville, the Kansas City Chiefs, with an 8-game winning streak against the Jaguars, a 3.5-point favorite in Jacksonville. What's good?
What's happening? Had some funny things happen over the weekend in football. Guys dropping the ball before they get in the end zone. I don't know why is that a thing? You know, the first time it happened, like, oh man, dude dropped the ball too early. But there's been like 8-9 dudes that have dropped the ball too early.
That's
crazy,
college,
man.
High school.
There's no tomahawk chopping this weekend. Your boys handle business.
Seriously.
I thought it'd be a closer game, but it looked like men against boys Saturday night. And that crowd couldn't do nothing for them. They were hyped. They were loud. They were chanting and chopping. It didn't make a damn bit of difference.
And
speaking of not making a difference, looks like your Yankees can't hang with the Blue Jays.
What the heck is going on? We were down 12-0 in this freaking game. It put 7. When the last time 7 runs was considered garbage runs? 7 runs. Yo, you got garbage runs, 7 of them. You got garbage runs and you still lost by 6.
When you're down by 2 touchdowns.
Oh my! Actually, it was what 12-7, 12. So man, come on, man, ridiculous. But I was like, oh, I don't know what to think. Where did this offensive explosion come from? But it came nonetheless. And these Yankees.
Hey, and that break I was talking about, it definitely didn't affect the Blue Jays at all.
Oh no.
And it didn't affect the Brewers game 1 neither.
I think I specifically wanted the Yankees to not have the break so they could continue. Didn't matter any damn way. Holy crap, man!
And I said Ohtani probably can't start and go very long, but I think he went 5 strong the other night.
See, everything that you're not
that's not
expecting
deep
to get out of
into the
baseball,
game, but still, that's 5 innings more.
5 innings that he's
more
eating
than I
up.
thought.
Yeah,
you know?
And he's eating them up, and not someone else that you can just throw in as well. Ohtani's just a different kind of player. I know people tried to play it down in the beginning. I didn't think there was too much to it, but he's doing it too damn much, and he's doing it very well when he's doing it. So you got to give the credit where credit is due. Man, that just shows you how much is going on. And now you're even talking about preseason basketball, going overseas and playing, all of this stuff going on.
I got a Bleacher Report notification. Warriors beat Lakers. I'm like, what? I said, Warriors beat Lakers. What the fuck?
It's back on, man.
It was preseason. I was like, damn, I didn't know they're playing preseason games.
Yeah, and the Knicks going overseas and playing as well. And they play the 76ers. And the deal there is that when you bring teams overseas like that, you're not going to just let the little backups play. These dudes want to see some of the stars. They're not going to play a long time, but they're going to play long enough to justify being out there and justify whoever brought a ticket being out overseas. So I think even Brunson got 17 minutes in that first game. That's quite a bit of minutes for a player of that status preseason-wise. But anyways, basketball is around the corner. College basketball, November 3rd. I think the majority of these basketball games in college are going on. But right now, we have the NFL falling on our lap. The first week of buys has started, so 4 teams did not play. 28 teams did play. And those 28 teams put up some spectacular games, at least spectacular endings. Looking at Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans, that ending, dude threw an interception, but they won the game. So he's like, yo, crazy. I had a career day.
That was the game the dude dropped the ball too early, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so they could have gone up 28-6, but instead there's a touchback. Then they get the interception, fumble, touchdown for the Panthers, cut into the lead. And then, did you see that dime he threw down the sideline? Your boy Cam Ward?
Cam Ward?
On the final drive, man, he threw an absolute dime. It was a nice pass. To get the one that got them in field goal range. But that was their first victory, right?
Yeah.
Falcons got to be kicking themselves, man. Like, one dude gave away 6 points. The other dude pretty much gave up 6 points. Well, it wasn't him by himself. He fumbled.
Everybody kicking around.
They say the ground can't cause a fumble, but when nobody touches you and you just lose it, that's a fumble. Then, 2 guys come and they almost run into each other, and one guy kicks it in the end zone. It was like a comedy of errors, man. Three
That's what it
Stooges out
was.
there playing football.
That's exactly what it was, a comedy of errors. And you're talking about, I think you mentioned the Panthers for by accident, but yeah, the Panthers did something as well, too. They were able to beat the Miami Dolphins. What's going on with the Panthers beating the Miami Dolphins, even when Tua
I
has a
said
pretty damn good
Panthers.
game?
Titans.
Yeah,
I meant
the
Titans.
Titans, yeah, going by the way they're playing, they both look the same. They're interchangeable. When they can't hardly win a game, the Titans now have 1 game won. Carolina has 2 games won. That second game came against the Miami Dolphins. You can't fire everybody during the season. You got to have someone coaching.
Hey, I don't know if Panthers and Bryce Young start playing well, might want to put extra security on Bryce. No, seriously, they I saw a report. He's claiming to be Mexican on his mom's side. You don't want ICE coming to get you.
Bryce Young, right? They have to get Andy Dalton to come back in again for him. I didn't even think about that.
One of those division rivals, you never know, man.
The Redskins, they're not in the division, but hey, they're another one of those groups. But yeah, 198 yards, he threw for 2 touchdowns. He doesn't look sexy doing anything, but as long as the team wins, because just a couple of weeks ago, they beat Atlanta 30-0. So on any given day, any given Sunday, they talk about that in the NFL. This is just another one of those deals. But Miami came in with their own problems. But I thought easily they were up 10-0, that this was just going to be cruise control. Even though it was a home game for Carolina, not much to it. Well, they come back and win the game against them once again. You can't fire everybody in Miami because someone has to stay around and coach. But what's there? They have nothing. It wasn't even a Tyreek Hill deal. It's just that them imploding, period. You gave up a 10-point lead.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the Chargers also gave up a 10-point lead. 30 points unanswered. Now they're talking about they have too many injuries. Well, they were up 10 somehow. I don't know. I don't know what turned or what changed, but it looks like Jaden Daniels got it clicking again.
Exactly. Just when you get, not that you got to get on the Justin Herbert bandwagon. We know the talent is there. We know that he has that ability. He's shown it, flashes of it. And I still think the Chargers are going to do some things this season, especially with him in there and Jim Harbaugh. But, man, this guy, when he regresses, man. Oh, he starts off well, and then he just pretty much stops like, let's have 1 quarter football for now. Well, let's have a half. That's it. Because he doesn't play these complete games with the consistency you need to in order to make it happen like that. It's just that I just don't know what to think of him. The talent is there, but you can't keep saying the talent is there, then it's inconsistent talent.
Right. I was watching that game. I said, this should be a good one. And it looked like the Chargers were going to be in control. It was 10-0. Washington wasn't doing much. I started doing errands around the house, whatever. I came back. It was 20-10 Redskins. I was like, what I missed? What happened? And then before I knew it, it was 30-10.
I had something on that game. I thought that, look, Jaden Daniels was coming back. I'm like, he hasn't been in it for a while. He's going to be a little rusty because that's what you expect. And he just picked up where he left off. And now that the Washington Redskins, who I picked in the preseason, of course, I don't think they're going to do it now. When you look at some of these teams that are getting it together, Detroit still probably number 1 in the power rankings if you had a power ranking right now. But, man, it was just something else, man. I was like, oh, my, how? How? At home? Does home field advantage really matters now unless there's some type of weather to it? I guess San Diego, well, they're not in San Diego, but even LA, the weather doesn't get good. It doesn't get bad. It's just there. So there's really no advantage other than fans cheering for you because you're the home team and cheering against you because you're the road team. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened in the night game. Buffalo struggled offensively.
You know what? I didn't even watch the game.
It looked like they turned it on too late. They had to come from too far down, and then you got to give Drake May credit. He got the
Drake
ball
May's legit.
Yeah, he got the ball with a minute some left. He drove them down, got them in field goal range, and they won the game. But he made some great decisions, some good throws. He had a dude all over him. He's a big dude, though. Yeah, he was stiff arming him as he's going down. He got rid of the ball for a strike and a first down before his knee hit. I was like, wow. I've watched, because I didn't watch the whole game, but watching Drake May for 1 half, I was more impressed with him in that 1 half than I've ever been with Caleb Williams in the entire season last year
Well,
and 4 games this year.
I've been rocking with Drake May. That's why when he was picked, I thought that would be a good pick. Didn't necessarily know because they were starting off so badly, being on that Patriots team that wasn't like it used to be. But he looks like he's that keystone piece they need in order to move forward. And it looks like he's developing. You can see the development on him. So that's
and the Bills defense, they're not slouches, and they got a really good DC. He was throwing different blitz packages at him. He was dropping guys back. It didn't matter, man. If he came strong with blitzes, he hit the check down. If he dropped guys back, he found the open receiver in the seam. That dude, he did not look like a dude in his second season.
That's a good deal. That's what they wanted. They picked him early in the first round for that, and it looks like he's going to, so far, so good, delivering and doing it against the Buffalo Bills on the road. I mean, seriously.
Well, I brought that game up because you mentioned power rankings. I don't know if the Bills what their ranks.
Not after losing like that. Maybe the Patriots are moving up.
Patriots at home. They got to drop.
I've already seen the BS stories of how Bill Belichick doesn't want anyone to put up any memes or anything about Drake May because he's a North Carolina dude. He's busy getting his butt handed to him no matter regard to who he plays. He's getting destroyed. But he doesn't want to see anything that has to do with Drake May. Not only did he go to North Carolina, but he's with the Patriots as well. That he get the devil with me with this one.
So I asked my homie Todd, he's a North Carolina fan. I saw what the score was. I don't know, it was like 30-10 or something. There's still a lot of time left. I said, so are you about ready to have Belichick whacked? He goes, man, he fleeced us.
Fleeced him. Hey, they thought he was the second coming. Look, if you look at
I don't know why. If the NFL didn't want him, why would a college want him?
I mean, but
that makes no sense to me.
But look at all of these coaches in the past. If the NFL, and I think, you know what? I think if he wants to go back to the NFL, there are now jobs opening up that he may be able to go to. I would not be surprised if he could go down to Miami. He could go down to Miami, be in the same division. You have a lot of little Tuna Bowl thing going on, like when Parcells with the Patriots and then Jets and Tuna Bowl. I think he can go to a team like the Miami Dolphins. There are going to be other jobs open as well. Well, not in Indianapolis, but he's gonna.
But if he fails miserably, you think GMs are knocking on?
College is such a different game. It's such a different freaking game in college than it is in the pros. Look at Bill Walsh, one of the greatest coaches of all time. Went back to Stanford and couldn't win a game. I mean, he won games, but he nothing like Super Bowl rings. You're definitely going to go somewhere in Stanford. Wasn't able to do it. Denny Green, I mean, well, he went to college before he went to the pros, but when he was at Northwestern, I think he had one of the longest losing streak in the country until Columbia came by from the Ivy League. So these coaches need to learn on the job. The game is so sophisticated in the pros. How do these guys understand it with even less ability?
Well, I'm saying if they didn't want him last year, nothing he's done at North Carolina, in my opinion, should change anybody's mind.
But I'm wondering if they didn't really want him, because we don't really know what happened behind back doors. Maybe they didn't give him.
If somebody wanted him, they would have hired him.
Was he actively going out there looking for jobs as an NFL coach?
You think he'd prefer to go to college?
I haven't even heard stories about he's in line for this job or he's looking for this job. And I know how tightly kept a lot of this information is about Bill Belichick, regardless of what he's doing. But I don't remember hearing any stories about that, how Bill Belichick is looking for a job or someone's targeting him. He just kind of kept it quiet. It's like John Gruden. Once John Gruden got that, you didn't hear anything. But now you're hearing a lot of things about any job that pops up. John Gruden's at least on those short lists.
Do you think if he had opportunities in the NFL, he would have chosen to go to college?
It had to be the right team, though. And typically those teams that need coaches aren't.
North Carolina was the right team?
Huh?
North Carolina was the right school?
In college, yeah. You could lose your hat in college and things are a little different. You got that. It's a lot different now. You don't dangle the carrot in front of the horse anymore or the donkey anymore because they got as much as power as the freaking coaches. They can just leave if they don't want to deal with you anymore. But I think it was more of a curiosity thing and more of an experimental thing. And we're seeing where the experiment is going so far. It's not looking so good. But, if he's going to just lose every game at North Carolina, it's going to be bad ego-wise for him, but it's not going to taint his legacy. It's something for people to tease him about. But it's not like he's hanging around regular people that's going to tease him, they're going to troll him right in front of his face and nonsense. I think that he can still get to the NFL with some of these jobs that are opening up. And Miami's one of those jobs that's open that puts him within length of being able to play against an AFC East team, which are the Patriots, and try to get some damn respect out there, try to get some revenge, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I'm just, they say when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Before Tom Brady, his team sucked. After Tom Brady, his team sucked. Every one of them, every single one of them, bro, they all suck.
There was always a debate.
So he's showing you. He's showing us. He's showing the world.
It was
without Tom Brady, his team sucked.
The debate was chicken or the egg. You just didn't know when it all came together and they started winning together. But then when Tom Brady left,
but he shut that down when he went to Tampa Bay.
That's what I'm saying. Once he left and won without him, bro, that was over with. And then Bill just continued to go down more and more and more. Couldn't find that next quarterback. And that's it. All the way down to college football. I mean, he just demoted him. Because I remember back when he was at Cleveland, I could look at that as just growing pains of a young coach just coming from the Giants. I can see how that went. And then when he started with New England, he did have Drew Bledsoe to start with, at least, because that was Parcells' guy. They went to the Super Bowl against Green Bay. And then he came along after turning down the Jets job he had for 24 hours. Then he gets to the New England Patriots. That's the one thing I didn't understand. He had Tom Brady on his roster. You're watching practice, you're in film study, you see him every day, and then it takes an injury of Drew Bledsoe for him to even get an opportunity at all. So what was he doing in practice all this time that he wasn't doing later on when he was already the standout? Now you see that he's going to be the guy. So you missed that in your own house. You just lucked out that Mo Lewis hit him the way he did Drew Bledsoe, got him out of there, and Tom just came in and took over. So I can see it from that regard.
So one thing, I don't know, I was about to say one thing I don't like what I'm hearing, but I don't know if I really don't like it. Dak Prescott's getting MVP talk. I mean, it's too early. It's too early, but he is balling.
He's balling his ass off, man. He's not even. I can't even say it's quietly. He's doing it because he's not that rah-rah kind of dude. He's just doing it, and because it's on Dallas, it looks good. And then you look at the past seasons he's had. Hell, even 2 seasons ago, he was doing well. But this year here, and the team is winning now. They're starting to win. And they're scoring points. If they're not winning, they're still scoring. And he's the one throwing the ball. Dak Prescott, listen.
They played the Jets?
That team, yeah.
Yeah.
The 0-5 Jets.
Are they really winning? They got pounded by the sorry-ass Bears. Did they win? They tied with the Packers. And they beat the Jets.
That's what I'm saying.
Are they really winning?
You lose to the Bears. You tie the Packers. I mean, how does that happen? I mean,
they're going in the right direction. They started out in the loss column, then they're in the win
skipping
column.
Around. They take care of everything. Loss column, win column, tie column. They're there. But you know what? Dak Prescott, all these years, he hasn't been a quarterback that you dislike, unless you were a fan of the Dallas Cowboys and you don't like that he's your quarterback because he's not winning the championship or not doing anything of consequence or substance. And you're like, outside of that, there's no reason not to like Dak Prescott. He's not an unlikable guy. There's been so many players that have just been unlikable. Like, I didn't like Baker Mayfield. I like him now. I liked him when he won the game ball a couple years ago. I started rocking. I mean, I was getting close to him, but then he won the game ball and still, I think, got traded or let go. I rocked with him ever since, and I like that he's doing some good things in the NFL now. He's one of those quarterbacks. If you had a top 7, he's there.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is balling. Somebody mentioned him that he deserves. Like I said, it's still early, week 5, but if you're talking MVPs, Baker's in the conversation.
Oh yeah, absolutely the conversation. Now let's get to another game. I think give your son props because we talked about it last week. He was like, "That's like a mass unit out there. Dudes are injury. This is the reason why this 44 points, man. They gave
crazy,
bro.
Man.
That's Cooper Rush. It's not even. What is he? I mean, what is he? He might have had a defensive lineman playing quarterback.
I asked my son 3 times. The first 2 times I didn't remember. I was like, "Who's Lamar's backup?" And he told me. Then I was at work. Somebody was asking me about the Ravens. They know my son's a Ravens fan.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, the backup's got to play because Lamar, he hurt his hamstring. He's like, who is his backup? And I'm like, damn, my son told me I couldn't remember. And then I talked to him and I asked him, he's like, Cooper Rush. And then I went to work the next day. I was like, I'm gonna tell him Cooper Rush, Cooper Rush. I got to work. I was like, the fuck is that guy's name?
Exactly. That's who he is. You don't know who he is. He's like just a guy. That's it. And because of him being just a guy, Derrick Henry can't even fall forward. The dude's over 6 feet tall, but can barely get 6 feet. He can barely fall forward to get 2 yards. I mean, he was getting lit up.
Yeah.
He and Saquon Barkley, man, those guys are like invisible this year.
Yeah, it's
At
crazy.
least Derrick Henry's had some games that were nice, but Saquon's just been shut down.
He got a nice catch out of the backfield yesterday.
Oh, yeah, well, out of the backfield. When you look at Saquon, you know the backfield catches are nice, but you're looking for him to just break it the way once he gets that gear, he can do what he does, jump over players and just be the athlete he is. But, man, Derrick Henry, just like these two dudes are on milk cartons. I don't pick your location, the milk carton, the milk aisle. And because of that, their teams are suffering. I mean.
Yeah, Ravens are on dire straits, man.
Wow.
Way too many injuries. As I mentioned last week, at least 5 All-Pros are out. That's a big chunk. 5 out of 22. That's almost a quarter of your starters, man. So they're missing a lot, and not even just All-Pros. They're missing starters on both sides of the line, in the secondary. Yeah, what's crazy is ESPN Bet still has them as a favorite to win the division.
Stop it already, man. Well, yeah, people do watch ESPN, but I wonder what for. Not necessarily the sports anymore, but man,
I would have to think the Steelers are the favorites at this point.
Things just changing, of course, man. They could be on a bye week and still things just show up for them.
Dylan Gabriel didn't look so bad
I was about to say Dylan Gabriel, man.
People were like, give Shador a shot. I'm like, I don't know if he's going to get a shot. Dylan Gabriel played well.
He's the second string quarterback, and the second string gets in before the third string quarterback. Typically, the third rounder who's gotten picked in the same draft as the fifth rounder will get the opportunity first. What, you want them to put in Deshaun Watson? He's not getting in there. So you might as well just use Dylan, and Dylan looked pretty damn solid. Got us 2 touchdowns, didn't throw picks, took care of the ball, but the defense couldn't continue to hold down like they've been holding things down. The defense wears down, and that's what happens with Cleveland. Regardless of how good your defense is, unless it's phenomenal, like the Tennessee Titans defense of 2001 or the 2000 defense of the Baltimore Ravens, other than that, it's going to wear down. Even the Jets had a great defense just 2 seasons ago, and they wore down because of Zach Wilson's 3 and out, and then pick.
Yeah, it's crazy how you watch a team week 1, like, man, that defense looks good. Then you get to week 5 and they're 1-4, and in week 6 they give up 35 points. You're like, man, I thought that defense was good.
Yep.
You mentioned it. Players get worn down when you're out there for 70% of the game compared to your offense is out there 30%. Players get nicked up, they get worn down, and guys can't stay at that elite level.
And let this be a lesson for people who think that Lamar Jackson isn't as good as he really is, because when he's not there, you see exactly what had happened. I mean, they've lost with him there before, but he's not going to just score 10 points if another team is scoring 44. Lamar Jackson is going to give you every opportunity to at least put points up. Typically that leads to wins, but not this time. But yeah, man, Lamar Jackson being out and Cooper Rush being in it, you see the difference. It's not like anybody had a problem with the difference. We already knew that. But yeah, Lamar Jackson sorely missed. And by the time he gets back at a hamstring, it's such an issue because you never know when you're completely healed from it. You get out there feeling good, and you just the slightest move, and with his fast twitch, yank, once again, you back out there. And you never know. You tear that thing, forget about it. That's the end of the season. But yeah.
So let me ask you a question, because my son says he's ready for Harbaugh to be fired. And I'm like, hold on now.
Not Harbaugh, man.
I said, now why do you feel that way? He's like, because they underperform in the playoffs every year. And he gave me like 2 or 3 reasons. He says he always gets out coached. I'm like, all right, well, you kind of make a decent argument. But here's my question to you. When I wanted Eberflus, LOSE, fired a couple years ago, Jim Harbaugh was available. And that's who I wanted. I said, fire Eberflus, bring in Harbaugh. They didn't do it. Okay, whatever. If they fire Harbaugh, Who are they bringing in?
Eberflus.
I said, now be careful. You may not like him, but the scrub you know may be 100 times better than the scrub you don't know.
You better have a replacement and know who the hell it is. And the one you know who it is, you hope it isn't who you think it is. That's just
right. Because when he told me that, I was surprised. I said, Lee Evans dropped a touchdown in the end zone against the Patriots. They lost that playoff game.
Yep.
Zay Flowers fumbles at the goal line. They lose that game. Last year, I believe Lamar Jackson throws an interception. I said, how is John Harbaugh? How is any of that Harbaugh's fault?
And I'm wondering when he said Harbaugh gets out coached, man. I don't know about that, man.
I don't know. There were a couple of seasons back to back. Like they played the Titans one year. They came out. They were down 17-0 before the second quarter. Like, okay, I could see if he said he didn't have his team ready to play that game. So and I think Baltimore was at home. Like, there's no way.
Get there? How did they get there? If you're down 17-0, how did it get there? Was it a fumble? Was it an interception? A whole bunch of sloppiness? Because is he completely responsible for the sloppiness when he's practiced this and in practice and it works, and then in the game these guys mess it up? I mean, it might have been the right play, but they blew the opportunity.
So let's look at Lamar Jackson's history. He hasn't been able to get it done. But in the playoffs, seems he's gotten a little bit better, a little bit closer each year. And that game against the Titans, I think, was his first playoff game.
Yeah, he didn't look good at all.
Yeah, he did not look good at all.
I watched that.
So I can't put that on Harbaugh.
Indianapolis watching that game.
Yeah, when your quarterback is playing at a certain level, comes in and it's the playoffs, and now he's like a deer in headlights, and it's 17-0 before you know it. I don't think that's the coach's fault.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying being out coached would be you making bad decisions, and the other coach decision was better than your decision. When everything was equal,
I do think he goes for it too often on fourth down, though.
I think coaches like him, they got some money in the bank. I guess he has a Super Bowl, so that's still kind of money in the bank. So you can take those chances. It's like Bill Belichick when they kept winning and winning and winning. It didn't matter what it was, but it could have been 4th and 20. He goes for it, and people are not going to complain.
See, like me, I think if you're up 3 and you got a chance, you get that first down, you force them to use all their timeouts, and then you can run out the clock. If it's 4th and 1, you're on the other side of the 50, maybe the 44, 45, too far for a field goal, I go for it. Because if I can't get a yard, then I probably don't deserve to win. Or if my defense can't stop them from going 65 yards or 55 yards, I don't deserve to win. But I want to show confidence in my guys. We're going to get this first down and we're going to ice this game, victory formation. But there's other situations when it's the second quarter and it's 3-3 or 7-7, and it's not necessary to go for it, because if you don't get it, they get the ball with really good field position. Don't put your defense behind the 8 ball like that. Punt them and make them go the length of the field. Pin them deep. But like I said, I think Harbaugh goes for it way too many times. And again, there's times to do it that I agree with, but like second quarter, if it's 0-0, you're at the 4, it's 4th and 1, man, take the 3 points, get on the scoreboard, break the ice. The only way I would not agree with it or agree with it is if there's a heavy wind and they got to go against the wind. All right, fuck it. We're going to go for it. And if we don't make it, they got to go 97 yards against the wind. But other than that, kick the field goal.
Yeah, but some of these coaches, they get it on 4th down. Probably if they did it 3 straight times or 5 straight times and they made it, they get this ego of being able to do it. They get this reputation of being that gambler, being that one who throws caution to the wind, but he gets it most of the time. And that's typically what happens. These coaches that get it or make it many more times and not completely above the league average, they get more attention than they probably deserve. But when they go for them 4th, the crowd is even into it for them to go. The crowd's into it a lot of times going for 4th on fourth. But when you have a coach who's been successful doing it often, that becomes part of his reputation, and he does it. He just does it. And, it's not going to work every time. I guess they accept that part too. But I guess just as well as you got 5 or 6 in a row, if you got missed 3 in a row, maybe that reputation kind of overstayed its welcome. And the fans are like, nah, man, just stop doing it.
Something else to consider, if you're going for it so often, how many different plays are you running? Like, do you have a pet play you like to go to on 4th and 2?
Like a tush push,
right.
That kind of thing.
Well, if it's a tush push, I mean, if you're the Eagles, nobody stops your tush push. Yeah, so by all means, go for it. But I'm talking about maybe if it's 4th and 3, because Harbaugh's going for it. I like 4th and 3, 4th and 4.
Yeah, that's pretty long, man. That's 12 feet.
You're not going to tush push from 4 yards out.
From 4 yards out, that's 12 damn feet. That's a long distance, man.
So let's say the first time you go for it, you have a play for it, and it works. Well, now everybody's seen that 4th down play. Are you going to try that same play again on 4th down? Probably not, because they're going to be ready for it. So the more 4th down plays you run, you limit the plays you can run because everybody's seen your 4th down plays.
The other 4th down plays. It all depends on the coaching.
I remember was Steve Walsh when the 30 for 30
with the Canes,
Catholics versus convicts.
Yeah,
he said the week before they had gone for it on 2-point conversions twice, or maybe even 3 times. He's like, we had used all our 2-point plays, so when we needed against Notre Dame, we were running a play that we didn't normally run for a 2-point conversion.
Pat Terrell blocked that damn ball, man. I still remember that SOB, man. But yeah, and that's true because you do have these packages, just like in the NFL. You have these packages that are used for certain moments. And, even in the preseason, there are games plays you don't want to show. I think the Jaguars this past preseason showed a hell of a nice play, man. I was like, why are you showing it now? Do that in the freaking game. Not no preseason. It was a nice-ass trick play, man. It was perfect. But now it's on the record, and so someone knows it, and they may, when you're coming up to play them, they know that's in the trick bag, so they at least probably practice against it every now and then for that week.
I know you didn't see this, but last year, it might have been the Thanksgiving game, but Goff, and he may have done it again, the Lions, when they played the Bears, he takes the snap, and he acts like he's falling down to trick the defense, and then he stands up, and there's a dude running all by himself downfield, and he throws a strike. The Bears tried it with Caleb Williams, and when he stood up, nobody was open. I'm like, Ben Johnson, just because it worked last year with the Lions and Goff doesn't mean it's going to work this year with Caleb and the Bears. Come on, man.
Oh, God, man. I don't know. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Or one man's treasure is another man's trash.
Yeah,
another man's trash.
He tried to bring it with him from Detroit, and it did not work.
Nah, well, apparently not. But another thing that didn't work, as we were talking about with the Philadelphia Eagles losing their game after being up as well against the Broncos come from their mountain time zone to Philadelphia, giving Philadelphia their first loss. Bo Nix being everything I thought he would be coming out, even more so because I think wasn't he the last quarterback taken in that draft when all of those quarterbacks were taken. I think he went after. Did he go after? I think Penix might have been after him. No, he was after Penix, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyways, he's playing well, playing solidly, if anything else, but because they seem like they have everything else. But Jalen Hurts had a really nice game, efficient, a lot of yards, 2 touchdowns. But then Saquon Barkley, again, they only gave him the ball out of the backfield 6 times. How do you rush Saquon Barkley just 6 times? And he wasn't injured.
That's crazy. I don't know. Maybe their line just not getting the job done.
God, I mean, 6 running backs have to get into a rhythm. Give that dude the ball, even if he's running into the back of his offensive lineman, give him the ball 2, 3, 4 times, 5, 6, 7 times. Because with him especially, you know that 8 times, that 9 times to be that 50-yarder, 60-yarder. And apparently not. He averaged 5 yards a carry.
Yeah. Speaking of yards per carry, your boy Ashton Genty, I told you he wouldn't run for 100, but he did average 4.2 yards per carry. They were down too much for them to keep running the ball. And that's why I told you I'm picking him to be the bust of the year because the Raiders are going to be down big a lot.
Man, I think Hampton might be the running back after all for the Chargers, but now he's on the IR because of an ankle. So that's going to cut his season a little bit. So he won't be able to do a lot compared to someone who's going to consistently play all year and play well and get themselves into that running and become the rookie of the year. But I still think Ashton Jeanty has something. I think the Raiders is just a worth freaking team to get him. I wish he would have gone to a Denver or something like that, where even if it's not Terrell Davis kind of blocking, or even Orlando's Mike Williams blocking, it's better than what they're doing in the freaking Raiders of Las Vegas. He would have done better with it, but hey, it is what it is. And well, what it is. The Jets lost, the Cowboys won. Let's move on. We don't even need to talk about that game. Just mention that it happened. Move the hell on. How about Jackson Dart in his second start? I mean, he didn't do anything special, but hey, they hung in there for a while until Spencer Rattler in his second year gets the New Orleans win down at home.
I didn't even see any highlights of that game.
Oh, I don't even think it really had highlights. It's just that Spencer Rattler.
That's probably why there's nothing to see.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like the WNBA. I hear there's finals going on, but is anybody watching?
Oh, man. Exactly. That tree is falling. No one's there in the forest. I don't think it made a noise because I didn't hear it. I know I've seen it on commercials or I see it on the crawl who won or who's winning. I don't pay attention to it. I didn't even know which two teams were in it going into it. And I think it's Phoenix and the Aces. So there you go. And so what? Let's move on. But man, that's a far cry from last year when everything was about the WNBA. It seemed like, at least. And what other game is on here? Well, we talked about that, but Detroit versus the Bengals. The only reason why I would even talk about that game, it wasn't even really a game, at least in the beginning. I think the garbage points towards the end, because they were getting dominated so badly, the Cincinnati Bengals, that is. They have Browning as their quarterback. And I took the over 48, and I'm like, yo, bro, I'm pissed off like half the game. Like, that's not going to hit. Next thing you know, I just, not even paying attention to it. Then you look up there, you see how many points that was scored in that damn game. I'm like, yeah, but then I put a 2-team parlay up, which was dumb, and I took the Chargers, so that was the end of that. So that was it. But still.
You and my son lost on parlays for picking the Chargers.
They call them sucker bets for a reason. But I've done so well in parlays, man. I mean, I picked 3-team parlays. Back in the day when I was just a little knucklehead, I used to take 6 and 17 parlays. And like, yeah, I took progressive parlays. $15,000. Nah, you ain't getting nothing. Get out of here with that. Shoot. But now, what other game that we'll play? Well, Indianapolis beating the Raiders, 40-6. But Indianapolis, man, especially at home, putting up the points. Daniels still getting fitted for the gold jackets. Daniels is definitely comeback player of the year.
So far. No kidding.
I hope he doesn't get injured, man. I hate when something like that would happen with a guy like that, when it's kind of like Sam Darnold. When that dude gets to somewhere that was a nice spot, he puts up the type of year he put up. And ironically, we don't hear anything about Kirk Cousins, and he's still getting all that money down in Atlanta, but Penix is the quarterback.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm a believer, man. I know the Colts are playing really well, but I mean, it was the Raiders this past week.
Yeah, but they did what they're supposed to have done it more.
They did. They throttled them. I just don't know if at some point the jig is going to be up. They're going to pull the chair out from under them. It's Daniel Jones, man.
Well, luckily they are in the AFC South. The Jaguars are winning because their defense is one of the best, if not the best defense in takeaways this season so far. Their takeaways are phenomenal. Devin Lloyd, their linebacker, was player of the week last week defensively. They have a good defensive team. Trevor Lawrence, bro, still not doing anything. He happens to be along for the ride right now. It's not like he's not doing anything, but for the number 1 overall pick and the money they had given him,
he's not doing anything.
He's not doing what you want him to do. Tonight or Monday night, he needs to have like a 200+ yard game. This 300-yard game, forget it. You're in front of everybody. Get a 300-yard game in there. You have the players.
Where I'm from, we have an expression. He ain't showing me shit.
Yeah, I saw a couple places like that. He ain't showing you shit after they watched him. They ain't showing anything. I just don't know what the problem is, but hey, I think he is what he is now. And, I think Brian Thomas, isn't he hurt? No, is it Brian Thomas, or am I getting him mixed up with Malik Neighbors? Because I know he's out for the season. But even now they're talking about Travis Hunter being a bust. Man, I don't even know where to land with this one, because either wide receiver or cornerback, where do you want him? I think you might just have to stick with one thing. Now you have to really realize, regardless of his athleticism, regardless of how much he wants to, sometimes you just have to do exclusively what's best for the team. Being a wide receiver, I believe, might be his option, but I think being cornerback is where he's most effective. Steve Smith Jr., a senior, said it. He was like, hey, this guy has a lot of talent. He doesn't run crisp routes. He's like a dude that's just out there running routes that's on the paper, but he's not doing them professionally. And it's true.
Well, I was thinking also as a wide receiver, you need a quarterback to get you the ball. As a quarterback, most of the time if you're playing man to man, you don't need any help. You might get some help over the top once in a while, but you got to just cover your man. He doesn't have to rely on somebody to get him the ball. Whereas cornerback, he can probably excel on his own.
But Brian Thomas, though, should take so much pressure off. He was the guy last year, wide receiver, that led the rookies yards-wise, 10 touchdowns. I mean, you look at his yards per reception, he led it across the board. And you thought that would take a lot of pressure off anyone who came in, rookie or otherwise. And it's just that they're not even giving him the plays that are on the outside. He would get something in the seam, like he's a tight end or something like that. Then he gets the ball, he gets like 6 yards, 7 yards, he goes down. And you would also think because Travis Etienne is having such an excellent season so far, he's killing it, absolutely killing it. So I see that Liam Cohen saw what I guess I didn't see what others didn't see when they was talking about Tank Bigsby's going to be here and Etienne's going to be out. Well, Bigsby is gone. Etienne is here. And he's absolutely killing it. Absolutely killing it. Yards per carry, catch out of the backfield, no matter what, not fumbling like he was last season or 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago. He's the real deal. You would think there would be some open opportunities with these wide receivers consistently. It's Trevor Lawrence, man.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'll watch tonight's game and then I can speak more on it on Thursday.
And by the way,
I'm not going to be here Thursday.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. So, another thing, we forgot to even talk about last Thursday's game with the 49ers on the road. Bro, Mac Jones.
We did talk about it.
Oh, yeah, actually, we did talk about it on Friday.
I was going to say, you had a thumbnail of Mac Jones.
Bro, man, I think there's those punches again. That's semi-pro ball and punches in boxing. Don't blame me. CTE somewhere in there.
Yeah, because I was tooting my own horn. My Super Bowl pick is 5-0.
Yeah, the 49ers, man. But Mac Jones now, I think, like you said last Friday, maybe they don't have to try to rush back Brock Purdy. Well, I don't think they need to do it anyway. You shouldn't be doing it. They claim they don't do that kind of thing. But the way Mac Jones has been playing, he's playing for next season. He's getting a contract with another team. He'll have his own team next season if he continues this. Even if he doesn't continue this, you know that it's there. You know that he has something for some team that's just like the freaking Carolina Panthers, because he's getting towards the end of his contract. So, you can find somebody else. Don't give him that option. Just get him out of there. But yeah, man.
So I just thought of something. Wouldn't it be crazy if all those guys that are injured, of course not all of them, some might be out for the season, but the majority of those Ravens players come back healthy, and let's say they win 10 in a row. They're right in the thick of things. Maybe they get in. Maybe they do win the division. Maybe they get in as a wild card. But you talk about redemption for Lamar Jackson. If goes in as a wild card, goes on the road, beats this team, beats that team, goes to Buffalo, beats them in Buffalo, and finally gets to the Super Bowl, man, monkey's off his back forever.
You know what? I want to see him get to a Super Bowl. I like to see him win it, but I like to see him get there. I at least want to see him get there, man, because people are just holding this against him. All these MVPs, you still have people out there claiming he's just a running quarterback. Regardless of the numbers that says that this dude can pass and read your defense, he's just a running quarterback. He's never going to get the job done.
The real issue is he's an all-time great in the regular season. In the playoffs, not so much.
All-time fake. That's it. Look how long it took Steve Young to finally get it together when he got his opportunity and got the monkey off his back. And Steve Young was one of those guys that was talked about, and people think that it was an underrated part of his game. He was a running quarterback as well, but he also threw that damn ball well because he had the greatest wide receiver of all time to throw the ball to. He threw more touchdowns to Jerry Rice than even Joe Montana threw to Jerry Rice. So he had his weapon. but it took him some time still to finally get that Super Bowl that he needed to validate his career. I thought his career was validated. He would have gotten to the Hall of Fame regardless without the Super Bowl, but he got it. And I think Lamar, man, I hate to see him not go to the Super Bowl, at least, get the experience and see what he can do in the grandest of all stages and just see how it goes for him, man, because I go back to the days when he was at Louisville, man.
Who gets there first? Him, Lamar, or Josh?
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Allen.
It looks
he
like
might go this year. He might go this year, man. Hell, man. It's like almost every year Josh Allen may go this year, and being in the AFC East doesn't hurt. Just like being now in the AFC South doesn't hurt. But right now, you talking about Baltimore getting players back and probably being able to push a 10-game winning streak and the extra long season now with another game added, 17 games. Bro, they're in the AFC North. It's just the Pittsburgh Steelers and them. Cleveland has defense, but they have nothing else. And now a rookie quarterback. And then you have the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow out. Browning is just awful. And when Joe Burrow comes back, guess what? He's going back out. Hey, we already know it already.
Yeah, I think it just depends on how long Lamar is out and how he looks when he comes back.
Oh, man.
I think that's the Steelers' division to lose right now.
It is. And Aaron Rodgers, I hope he does lose it, but I doubt it. It's like, I don't know. They were all one of the teams that had a bye week this week. Let's see how he comes back from his bye week. I mean, he's a veteran, so bye weeks don't typically bother veteran quarterbacks, but I think just being old bothers veteran quarterbacks, and he's just an old dude. And other than that Jets game, he hasn't looked like anything special. And he almost had me thinking, damn, this, I know it was the Jets. I'm not going to say he had me think it was the Jets. No, it is the Jets. It was the Jets. But he's not as good as he played against the Jets. He's just a regular old quarterback that still has his name. That's it. And that might be enough for the Steelers because of the way they play overall.
Yeah. We'll see.
Bounce back into that college football. I mean, you got the Canes out there. You got the Canes won their game. Big deal. Penn State loses to UCLA.
That's crazy.
That was insane. I mean, coming off of the loss against Oregon.
How far have they dropped? They should be out of the top.
They're out of the top 25. Texas and Penn State. They went hand in hand out of the top 25. They're gone.
They should.
I mean, and then, but going out to playing an 0-4 team and a hopeless team. They fired Deshaun Foster earlier this season. Remember last year, Eric Bieniemy was their offensive coordinator. And you think that they had something working there, and it started off and got even worse this year. But they lost and Drew Allah. I don't have to hear about him being an NFL quarterback or a first rounder anymore. He hasn't done anything when it really counted, and this includes playing this game at 0-4 team, not doing well doing that. But yeah, UCLA gets their first win of the season, one for the ages. Might be, and I'm not gonna say it's up there with Michigan losing to Appalachian State years ago, but this is certainly up there. An 0-4 team taking on a so-called power team. Now 0-2 in the Big Ten for Penn State. Forget about it. You're not getting into any playoffs, and you still have the slate left in the Big Ten to play. And then let's not talk about
if they win every game the rest of the season, and the only way they can get in is to win the Big Ten championship.
Big Ten, and that's not happening.
And I don't see it happening, but I think you lose to a team that hasn't won. Let's say UCLA wins 2 games all season.
Yeah.
There's no argument for Penn State to make the tournament. I don't care.
Nope. And it is at the wrong part of the year, too. Losing in the middle of the season is not the same as Alabama losing first game of the season, because Alabama's gotten themselves back into it. And as they've gotten back into it, Ty Simpson has become an excellent quarterback along the way. All he needed was experience, like a lot of other quarterbacks. It's just that he has the experience and the talent to go along with it. The running ability when he needs to, and passing that ball like a demon. That dude could pass.
It's kind of looking like a bad loss, too, though.
Which one?
Bama losing to Florida State, yeah.
You know what? Look, it's just, if you look at it on the surface, first of all, when it comes down to these human voters, even though they're putting in the information into the computers, these human voters still look at the Alabama name. It doesn't have Saban attached to it, but they're looking at the wins. And now the Alabama's starting to win against more name brand teams, and they'll win against more name brand teams because that's all they're going to be playing now. That's going to give them an opportunity. They're going to be playing Tennessee. They're going to be playing Auburn. Not that Auburn's going to be anything by then, but that's always one of those formidable games. And as long as they have Ty Simpson, they could win any of these games. Jam Miller finally showed that he could run the ball effectively. And I kept saying, don't act like it was just Vanderbilt. Yes, it's Vanderbilt, the name, but the team is different. Just like a lot of these NIL and transfer portal teams, you think about their name, and because they've been traditional losers in football, you just take it away from them without watching the games and how dominant and good they've been playing football last year and this year. And Alabama was able to run through them. I mean, they didn't need Ryan Williams to do all the big things. They had Cam Miller doing it. Ryan Williams did get his, but Ty Simpson, I don't think there's a quarterback playing better than him right now. And that includes my man, who's the leader in my clubhouse at Heisman right now, Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. That's been my guy last year anyway, when he was in California. But now, dude, back-to-back 5 touchdown games. I know it was Indiana State the first time. I was like, yeah, that's Indiana State. Like, first alma mater. That's not even freaking football. But then he comes the next week and does it to Illinois. It's 5 touchdowns. Now he'll get his chance to do it against Ohio State this Saturday. We'll find out what he's really all about.
Yep, the rubber will hit the road.
Yes,
rubber will hit the road. We'll find out.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because he hit the road against Iowa through his first interception. So now it's 16 touchdowns, 1 pick on the season. Still impressive from the eyeball test. But he's throwing that ball well too. I mean, there's been some very good quarterbacks, man. I mean, USC with Jaden Mayava. He throws well. I mean, he's really throwing well. Wasn't he with UNLV before he came over there, or was he with Oregon? I think he was the one with Oregon before he ended up going to UCLA or USC. But anyways, he's the reason why Max Moss is playing in Louisville. Max Moss is like a 100-year senior and couldn't beat him out, so he just left with the Louisville. And Miami's next game, because Miami has a bye week, so they'll be playing Louisville in 2 more weeks. But yeah, man,
another bye week. Didn't they have a bye week?
Yeah, yep. I don't know who did it and how they did it. They got all these bye weeks now, man. I'm like, I think they got like 3 of them. 3 bye weeks. What is this?
They got a bye week to prepare for Florida State, and then a bye week to recover after playing
from Florida State, even though no one really got banged up at Florida State. They was killing Tommy Castellanos out there. I'm going to celebrate. We're going to storm the field after beating Miami. Have you ever seen a team storm the field in a loss and tear down their own goalpost because they lost? That would be the reason why you would tear it down, by you being pissed off. Tommy Castellanos. This is in Alabama where you can talk that Nick Saban's not here to save you anymore. And he was right. He was able to win that game. Miami's a different animal, and I wasn't even expecting it that dominant.
I have a confession. As you know, I'm a Huskers fan.
They won, man, against Michigan State.
Yeah, they did. And Florida State, you know, I kind of liked them from afar. I liked the whole Chief Osceola and the Tomahawk Chop, and I liked Bobby Bowden. But I'll never say that's my school. That's not my team.
Yeah.
Nebraska's my team. However, Florida State came and plucked Nebraska's defensive coordinator in the offseason. Yep. And then he brought a whole bunch of his defensive players with him. So right now I'm like, fuck Florida State.
Yo, we talked about that dude last week. What was his name? White? What's his name? The defensive coordinator?
Yeah, Tony White.
He was the highest paid coordinator they had in college football last year, I believe. Then he comes, he was that good. They looked at, he's going to have his own team one day. But he came to Florida State. That's one reason why I was like, yeah, the defense is going to get right, but how? You know what I mean? I know he schematically, yeah, but do you have the players? As long as you're in Florida, you can get the players. But he had those boys playing, man. They can stop the run a little bit, but then and they did slow down Miami's run, but they didn't take care of a whole lot of the other loose ends, like Malachi Tony Nassim, or the trick play down the field, or CJ Daniels catching the ball and chanting doing the war chant for Florida State. But man, I wouldn't say all bad with Florida State, but Miami's just at another level. I didn't even think they were on this year. Defensively, yeah, but damn, I expected more because we've seen that rivalry.
They look really strong, doesn't they?
Oh, man, I wish they could close the damn show, and people still complaining about me saying things about Carson Beck. Man, forget the numbers. I watched the game, man. They're giving this dude bubble screens and hitches and all those little high percentage passes. And then a trick play, you get this big play on, and it's a nice throw. But, man, this is not going to be what you have to rely on from week to week, though. Those fantastic athletes catching that bubble pass or catching that seam like Malachi Tony did and taking it to the house. Yeah, I could dig that. But, man, when it comes down to the running game getting stopped, kind of like it was this past weekend, and then him having to read defenses from left to right and make the right throw, he did that when he had time. He still threw it behind the receiver. I've seen that too many times at Georgia, and now, come on, man. Oh, Ken tries to shoot me for saying some crap like that. We're undefeated. He's the greatest. Someone even say he's the #1 Heisman Trophy candidate right now. Get out of here. But
So
whatever.
talking about my Huskers, they beat Michigan State, but that win was crazy that game.
I didn't see that.
Michigan State's offense, they Nebraska had the win in the first and fourth quarter, and their offense looked good in the first and the fourth quarter. Michigan State's offense looked like trash like first and fourth quarter, but looked pretty good in the second and third quarters. It was crazy, but when Nebraska, they had one possession, I can understand the frustration because I was frustrated. They had one possession. Raiola got sacked on first down. Second down, there's a false start. And then he got sacked on third down. Or he got sacked on second down again. So it's third and like 29. And they're going against the wind. And they call a bubble screen or something. They get like 6 yards. And then they have to punt into the wind. And they get the ball like the 32. Like, what the hell is the point of punting? The ball doesn't go anywhere.
It's like a knuckleball up there.
But Nebraska fans are going crazy. Raiola sucks. Put in TJ Lateef.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're losing their minds. I'm like, TJ Lateef has never played against the ones. Yes, he's looked good against 2s and 3s, but that's not the same as playing ones in the Big Ten.
Don't know, man. You would think Nebraska people of everybody would know what's going on with this type of talent.
When Raiola's there and he's barking out the calls or whatever, and you see his towel flapping in the wind like this, like that tells you how windy it is. You can't throw the ball. I mean, come on. And they say Nebraska fans are the greatest fans in college football.
It's supposed to be knowledgeable too.
They used to be the greatest fans in college football because I don't think they are anymore, man.
If they're telling them to get rid of Dylan Raiola, come on, man.
It could be too many years of losing. They want the turnaround to happen quicker. They're used to games like 57-3, 77-0.
Right?
Tom Osborne's been gone a long time. You're not winning 77-0 anymore. That's just not going to happen. So Nebraska fans need to chill out, man. They need to chill out.
Unless you're playing one of these horrible teams like Kent State, where you could throw a 66 spot up like Texas Tech did, or that piece of garbage team, East Texas A&M, which is essentially Texas A&M Commerce, who Florida State dropped 77 on, crap like that. Or, oh my God, you talk about a bad bet. East Texas A&M was so damn bad. I took them. They were a 7-point favorite against Northwestern State. They blew out Northwestern State. Northwestern State is, you talk about trash. Oh my God, man. The damn garbage man should have came at halftime and just got rid of him. They were that bad. I mean, God, I can't believe I even picked a game like that. But anyway, I just figured who could be that bad, man? Who's that bad? 7-point favorite over freaking underdog against Texas A&M Commerce. But anyway, that's what happened. But who's Dylan Raiola, man? The son of Dominic Raiola.
Now, this I can kind of get on board with because I'm watching the game Saturday. I'm like, I don't understand how none of my teams can run block. Emmett Johnson, the running backs, running into a pile of bodies. And he busted one like a 27-yarder for a score later on in the game. But for the most part, it's 2nd and 8. It's 3rd and 9. Like they just cannot run the ball.
Running the ball.
It's the same thing with the Bears. I'm like, how is it neither one of my teams can run the ball? I don't understand.
Running the ball was a staple for Nebraska for decades.
And then
that's been what it was.
The offensive line coach is Dominic Raiola's brother, Dylan's uncle.
Might need Dominic himself to do it.
Yeah, Dylan's uncle. And they're saying, man, he needs to go. He needs to go. I'm like, whoa. He probably needs to get better. But if we get rid of him, does that mean we lose Dylan? Does that mean we lose his little brother?
Portal, man.
Yeah, do we lose his brother Dayton, who's coming in a couple years?
Man, because I know
I
his
don't
other
know.
brother that's in Georgia right now. I'm watching him play on Saturday, on Friday nights.
Maybe demote him to special teams coordinator or something, but
And keep him on the
don't
payroll.
don't just get rid of him outright, man.
Yeah, that would. I think it would be
Uh,
some blowback in
unless
college more
unless
so than anything.
Unless Dylan's the one who starts it. Hey, Coach Rule, can I talk to you? Our offensive line play is going to get better, man.
Yeah.
We can't run the
Don't point the
ball.
finger at us. Don't point the finger at the offensive
We
line.
can't
That's the
run the
worst thing you
ball.
do. You know what? Throughout the college football season so far, the one thing we hadn't talked about, and I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, I think it's probably a good thing. No Coach Prime talk this time around. His 2-3 team. This guy doesn't have anything going for him. Was it all about Shedeur being on the team, or was it just simply Travis Hunter being on the team that got them all the attention they were getting? Now those dudes are gone. They're not playing well. Now TCU is a better team right now. Hoover, their quarterback, former baseball player. I think he's not going to the NFL. I think he will go back to baseball. He has a hell of a freaking arm, and he probably has a better future in baseball. But anyways, they beat them in Fort Worth. Colorado just not good at all this year. And Coach Prime, one of the voices is going to start talking about him. You do have Juju Lewis, the number one quarterback in last year's recruiting class. Got his start, didn't look that good, but he's on the roster. Does he start thinking like a lot of other players did with Coach Prime? Or are they thinking about leaving? Is he going to think about leaving because he's not getting the burn he thought he should get, regardless of just being a true freshman and you're up against other juniors and players like that?
That's a good question. But what about his staff? Like he's got Warren Sapp on staff.
Yeah, right. What's that defensive line? What's that? I see all
Right.
this hype. He got hype video going on, but those guys aren't playing any better on the defensive line. The offensive line still not getting any real push. The quarterback's not getting sacked as much, but look at that offense is not really existent. There isn't anything you can really rely on running back wise. Every now and then there's a good game, but when you're 2-3, every now and then it's game after game, and you're on the short end right now with the 3 losses. And it
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's getting better now. Now that conference play has started.
And see, I think that's one of the problems that when you get so many players from the transfer portal. You know, unless you're getting all sophomores, freshmen, sophomores, those guys ain't gonna be around too long. You
And
know,
that's true. No continuity. See,
right.
Mario Cristobal has the right formula, but look how long it took him to get there. You know, it took him a while to finally get to where he's at now, to where these players are now showing up. And if you do have them for just one season, they're still making the impact for that one season, like Cam Ward did last year. But his recruiting also is part of that too. When you look at Ruben Bain being part of that recruiting class, Malachi Tony, a recruit. So it's not only these transfer portal players, but some of these key positions do have transfer portal players. You know, CJ Daniel coming from LSU, 5th-year, 6th-year senior, playing for Miami, and it shows. And now you look at other Miami receivers like Isaiah Horton catching ball for Alabama, or Kobe Young catching ball for Georgia. These are K's wide receivers that would have been this year, but we have a better receiving core this year without those guys. That just shows you how much talent is there. But no one should be surprised because Mario Cristobal was always known as a great recruiter back in 2015. He was the recruiter of the year, according to ESPN and 24/7 Sports. So it was all a matter of bringing that coaching up to speed. And we saw those coaching flaws along the way to now. This seems like more of a finished product with the talent to match. So it seems like so far so good. Number 2 in the country, Ohio State, the defending champs, should be number 1 until someone proves otherwise. That's just how it goes.
We'll see.
So anyway, let's shut it down. Man, it's been an hour and 3 minutes. And the game is coming on. 8:15 start. I don't know. Anyways, he's biased. I'm Travis.
I'll be on hiatus Thursdays.
He's going to be on hiatus. So we're going to have to come up with some magic to try to replace that. And it's going to take some damn magic to do it. Did you hear a story? I think I just heard a story. I think my somebody told me that nonsense. I don't know what to believe with him. He just tells me anything. That LeBron's allegedly coming up with some type of decision he's going to be talking about tomorrow. What decision? Is this dude going to retire on them like right now?
He ain't retiring.
Man, stop with the nonsense, man. Come on, all the eyes on me. Bro, let football get played, man. You know basketball's coming. You want to talk this nonsense during the preseason? Get out of here, man. Oh, he wants all eyes on him for some reason, man. But whatever this decision is, maybe the decision is, I told my son to retire. Oh, okay, good decision. You should have never brought him in. Anyway,
he's buying the Lakers.
Huh?
Maybe he's going to buy the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, right. Jenny Busters are giving that up. hardly even a little piece, especially to
She
a
already
player.
sold it.
Oh yeah, you know what? How much she sold it for?
I don't know, 400 billion or so. I don't remember.
400 billion.
All right,
Yo, man,
5 billion. 5
you know
billion.
what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm the Lakers. I forgot about that, man. Jeez, bro.
Deuces.
All right, deuces out.